Here's what the frame looks like before you wrap the skin around it. So you can see the one I just completed here. The Tusk logo goes on the outside, so this would be the driver door. And then what's going to happen is once we mount it, this is gonna pin in a bracket, and then this will pin in a bracket in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap the other door skin. So these are kind of tricky to put together. So I think the easiest thing to do is first lay out the frame the way it's going to go on. So now we're doing the passenger side. So this is the back, and that's the front up there, the open part. And we know the Tusk logo. We know the Tusk logo goes in the back. So this is the way that that's going to lay on there. Now we'll turn it upside down. What we have to do is basically feed this open end. It's going to have to come in through here and all the way back around this other side. Now you can see I got everything contained in here. I can start to wrap it around, but one of the next things we have to do is we have to get this rear pin through the hole that's in this skin. So we're going to need some slack on here to be able to do that. So I just fed that through here. So it's starting to look more like a door. So we'll zip it up. So let me give you a close-up here. This is the hole that they already have sewn in from the factory. And then all this bottom part's going to be Velcroed on. So one last thing we have to do is we have to make a hole for this one. It just sits here on the end, but we have to cut a little slit to let this get through the rubber gasket. So what I did on the last one, I'm going to zip everything up, Velcro everything up, kind of make a mark where I want it, and then I'll just cut a little slit through there. So this down here, this is kind of like a neoprene, it was really flexible, and this Velcro here all along the bottom is really strong, and everything's really stretchy, so it seems like it fits really good here. So this is what I'm talking about. So I'll just make a little mark here. And now we'll take this back out again so we can cut it. So all I want to do on my mark, here's my mark right here. I just want to make a slit kind of close to the top of the plastic. Right in that little, just through the rubber part right there. And then what that'll allow me to do, now I can undo this stuff again. I'm going to unzip the door. Give me a little bit more flexibility again. And then I can bring this up and run it through there. Okay. So now you can see here was the little hole we just created. So what I did on the other one, and I'm going to do it on this one too, I'm just going to run some Gorilla Tape around the edge just to keep that from continuing to want to rip. Just a little bit of added protection. I don't know if it's going to make a big difference, but can't hurt. So the last thing we have to do on the skin assembly is we have to put this strap on. So they give you this hole right here. So the whole idea of this is this goes through, wraps around the frame, and then this part is what you can use to, I guess, help secure this top part to the frame of the machine. So it's going to stick to this adhesive part. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. We'll see once we get it installed what that looks like. Okay, maybe it's just me, but these straps are confusing, and dealing with this Velcro and this strap and everything is a pain. So the way you feed it is basically take the red strap. So I have the warning label here, and then you put in the red strap first. You wrap the red strap underneath the frame, up around the neoprene, and then kind of pull it, and then run it back through this loop here. And then when you're all done, what you're looking for is you're looking for that strap to be on this side, so it's coming up towards the roof. So there we have it. Both door frames are ready to go. We got the skins on them. First step of the install is we have to take this panel off the outside of the door. Never done that. We'll figure it out here. I guess there's screws all in here, and it is a Torx 30. So I doubt they're in there too much. I don't probably need to bother with my screw gun. There we have it. So there's 6 Torque bolts on the door, and then she comes off. Before we get started on the rest of the installation, let me show you this kit came with these instructions. Be sure to check everything that is supposed to come, because of course I didn't get everything. I was supposed to get, these are little plastic washers, and I'm supposed to get some black ones too. I assume they're about that size. I had these white ones laying around, so I called them. They're supposed to be sending me some more, but they didn't give me the 2 black large friction washers. But we have different brass inserts. They give you some Loctite. That's kind of cute. A little bag of Loctite. So here's all the hardware spread out. So make sure you check that. Another thing that they didn't give me, so I'm glad I read this before I started, is it said that they would provide, with the instructions on the back page, it said there was going to be a template. So I had to call them, and they actually sent me this template, which I printed out. And it's important to, there's a scale on the paper that measured 2 inches. So you just want to measure that to make sure it's really 2 inches. Otherwise, this would be not to proper scale. So we'll go ahead and put this passenger side template on and drill our 2 1/2-inch holes to open up that oval. And that's going to be our first step. And Rocky Mountain passenger is spelled Passenger. So I'm over here on the passenger side with the template. So where that goes is we're basically right up here at the grab bar. And then this front part of the door, you're just supposed to follow the pattern here. So we'll make sure it's lined up good there. Throw some tape on it. Measure twice, cut once. All right. Now, instead of just drilling through their paper and having it move on me, I'm going to just push my awl in here, get a real hole. See what I mean about that awl? Let's get rid of this thing. I think this is the first time I've ever used a chisel on plastic. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. Here's what the driver's side looks like. Got that one cut out too. All right, next step is they provide these inserts, these threaded inserts here. So we have to put these 2 at the back and 2 at the front. These slide in nice. And I think these are the Can-Am factory holes, probably for their door skin too. And there's 2 up front. Okay, the next step is we have to put on the rear bracket. So this hole here is what's going to take that door skin frame. So we just put those brass inserts in. So those are going to hold the bolts at the top. And then we need to drill a hole for this bottom one. And you can see right here, I think you can see it, there's a little dimple here from the factory. So that's what we're going to drill with our 5/16 bit. We get mounted with the M8 by 25 in the top. And on the bottom, it takes an M8 by 45, and it actually takes a nut on the other side. And there's actually already a relief hole from the factory behind this, so as long as you go in at the dimple, the hole's already there behind it. You can see right here where our bolt came through. Now we got to do the exact same thing in the front. The only difference between the front and the back is this bracket is shorter. So that's going to sit right in here. I'm actually going to take my awl to this dimple because it wasn't very defined last time. So now you can kind of see exactly what we're trying to accomplish with this hole. Right now the Allen wrench is right in the middle of that bracket, so give ourselves plenty of leeway to get through to that thing. Alright, I got all my brackets off. I'm going to go ahead and take my mirror off because I know it's going to be in the way for a minute, and I'm going to have to make a little incision into the window to accept the mirror. These Tusk mirrors have been awesome, by the way. Hey guys, so a night or two has passed. I had to stop working on this the other night, and now I'm back at it. I want to show you kind of the progress of where we left off the other night when we were doing the install. Let me switch the camera on here. So I got them rough fit in there pretty good. So the next step we got to do here is we have this piece that is going to go into a bracket and secure to here somehow. We'll figure that out, and then I took the mirrors off, as you saw. We're gonna have to have a little hole coming through here to accept the mirror, but as of right now, we're on step 8, so we're gonna start installing these brackets here. Okay, so now we're on step 7. We have to figure out how these swivel tabs go on, and then the filler plates. Okay, at this point, that front swivel tab needs to be installed with some Loctite. So they want us to take the door back off, which I think is going to be a little bit of a challenge because now we're to the point where you put this in loosely. They wanted you to tighten everything up, but it's still, this isn't a great enough fit that the door still moves easily in and out, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's tough. So let me give it a little leverage. Go. Okay, for the next step, they want us to take this swivel bracket with the M8 by 16 bolt, and it only goes through this one here, this part of the L, which is good, so you know you're using the right one, because this hole's too small for this. And then once you put it through, they want you to put the friction washer on. I think I told you guys the other day they didn't send me the friction washer. They're supposed to be sending me one, but I have these laying around. I think that will work fine. And now they want us to Loctite it in here and let it set up, but only tighten it enough so it still freely spins. So they give us this little thing of Loctite, so we'll use that. So that's a little tight, so I'll back it off a little bit. That's pretty good right there. And now it says we need to let the Loctite set up. So we'll do this other one. Looks like I'm a little generous with the Loctite. Probably pretty good. Before I got too crazy, I wanted to throw this door on and see if this is fitting properly, and I couldn't get it to go. And I figured out it's because I have this piece right here, and that was for my aftermarket mirror, so my Tusk mirror. So if you already had the mirror on, like we took off earlier, this piece is going to have to go because it's in your way. Okay, got the bracket off, got it tightened up. That wasn't the easiest, but that's done. Okay guys, so now we know how the passenger side goes on with our kind of our dry fit there. We'll have to take that mirror post off, but so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this filler bracket and we'll put it here in this shape with the triangle facing towards us. And again, this is the passenger door. So we'll take this M6 by 16 bolt. We'll put that in first. Then we want one of these little black friction washers. And then we'll put it through on this side. So the swivel is here. We'll put it through. And then on the back side of it, we'll put another one of those friction washers. And then we have a small nylock. So this is what you have for the setup. Looks like this on the passenger side. And then there's the back side of that bracket. So now over at the driver door, we'll do the same thing. I have this elongated open part here. I'll put in our M16 or M6. Got to put the nylon washer, another one, and then our nylock. So this is the driver's side, hence the D I added. All right, we're going to attempt to put the driver's door completely on now. Now that we got the bracket installed, I also, to see what a difference it made here, I also siliconed my brackets on here, and then I put a little wax on my pins. Hopefully that'll help it go in and out a little easier. Not too bad. Okay, now that I got the door kind of in, you can kind of see the position of the filler bracket here, and it's all starting to make sense. So there's a little groove here, and then we got a hole down here at the bottom, and then we got this hole right here. So this top hole is just going to take the bolt only, and then the bottom one is going to take the nut, bolt and the nut. Alright guys, I want to show you something here because it doesn't say anything about this in the instructions, but remember this hole here that was kind of elongated? Definitely going to need to make an adjustment. I wasn't happy with how that was fitting down here at the bottom. I feel like we needed to be pushed down further because, as you can see here, my weather stripping in the front is a little bit lacking. You see how you see light through there? But also, there's this adjustment here, and I just loosened it up. So, as you can see, we can adjust the frame up and down here. So, I'm going to tighten that all the way down. Hopefully, that'll help with the fit. Okay, so you remember this strap they had put back here? That's so we can Velcro it to the roof. They say to use that strap at high speeds, but one place I see they could improve here is when I shut the door. You can see I have more of a gap here, which when you're on the outside you can just push it right in, but I think a great place to have a strap would be right up here, and that way you could also kind of pull the front in once you're inside the cab to get it sealed. So we're looking better. Now we have to, this helped a lot making this adjustment here all the way down, but now we have to, I'll have to read the instructions, but I think we gotta clean this off and then use some of this self-adhesive to hook the flap down here. So I'll take a little alcohol here and clean this area off. It seems to me like the placement of this Velcro is kind of a joke, because the Velcro is right behind this seam here. And if we look, I mean, the Velcro's, I guess the Velcro, the horizontal Velcro is okay because it's going across, but this vertical piece they got, it isn't coming anywhere near here when we pull it tight. I mean, I can pull it back some more to make sure it's completely on the bracket, but then we have this area flapping around. So I almost think it's better to pull it more tight like that. I don't know. All right, I have this tucked in about as good as I can get it. Plus we're gonna have the mirror going through there. So I guess we'll I'll make sure that this piece of Velcro, at least the horizontal one, I think we'll put that where it needs to go first. I don't really have that fitting very well either. I'm going to cut it at an angle. I don't even know if we'll end up using that vertical piece. All right, so let's take off the self-adhesive. And I guess now's the moment of truth. We'll tuck that in here. We'll lay it down. Looks good from here. And you can see what I mean here. We're okay, but still got to kind of push it in its spot. I guess either way to look at it, we have about 99% more coverage than we had before. All right, the last thing we have to do on this side is make our hole for our mirror. So I can feel it right there. I'm just going to pierce that. I'll make it a little bigger with the bolt here. Just want to keep it as small as possible. All right, now I'm gonna try to come back through the other side again. There we go, that's not too bad. I'm going to Loctite that guy a little bit. And we'll thread on the mirror. I'll give it a little bit more upward angle since I have this door frame in the way a little bit. So that's what we're looking at. Now we guess here we got one last step, and that's just to hook on this little Mickey Mouse Velcro strap, probably up here to the frame somehow. All right, guys, home stretch. I got the doors on, upper doors. I got all the Velcro on. So I'm just going to put the door panels back on here. I'm throwing one extra. It's some yellow Loctite on here. I'm not sure what yellow is as far as strength, but I'm going to throw some blue Loctite on these door panels. All right, we finally got her finished. It was quite a project. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. They're not the most perfect fit, but it's gonna do a nice job this winter keeping all the really nasty mud out of the cabin. Got the mirrors back on. And I can definitely see where those straps were really nice, because once I'm in there, I kind of use it to make sure and pull this frame up underneath the roof. So yeah, I'm sure you can't see it, but what I did up here is maybe you could say, yeah, you can just kind of see the Velcro. So just clean it, bring it, and put that up there, and then this is where that hooks on the inside of the door. So let me show you inside the cabin. So that's what I mean, where you go, just kind of pull it and you stick it up here, and then, you know, there's a little bit of spot here. I guess I'll call that my vent, or, you know, I can mess around with it a little bit better to try to get that, or heck, maybe I'll just stick a rag up there. This side is actually looking a little better right now. But for the most part, it's going to keep a lot of that mud out. The view is actually pretty good through there. My messy bench. All right, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate you following me along on this, and let me know if you have these doors and what you think of them and how they've worked out for you. Hey guys, bonus footage. We got some post-day updates here. So it was a medium mud day on the trails. In the winter we'll have it so you can't even tell what color this machine is. You won't see any of that blue, and usually the mud is caked on the mirrors out to here. It's ridiculous. That's exactly why I wanted these doors, but you can see they did a great job yesterday. Very pleased with them. Really kept the heat in the cab too, so it was fairly comfortable all day. Still, it was 45 degrees and sunny all day yesterday. Still wore my coat, but no wind. And look at the inside of the cab here. This is the key. Like before, you'd have mud all up the seats and all over in here, but it looks good. Still obviously get stuff coming in through the floor, so, but that's easy to rinse out. But it's nice not to have everything up here in the electronics. Still comes through the gap a little bit here in the window where that folds down, but for the most part I was clean, and worked out pretty good. Hey guys, Tennessee Yankee. Thanks for watching. If you found this content helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on your right. I have other content linked for you on the left side. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching.